Good afternoon, everybody. On Wednesday, April 23rd, I'm going to call this meeting of the Committee of Adjustments to order at 6:30. The adoption of the agenda is the recommendation that the committee agenda dated April 23rd, 2025 be adopted as circulated. Can I have a mover? Jonathan, and a seconder, Fahim. Lovely. Is there any declarations of pecuniary interest in the general nature? I see none, so we can move on to the adoption of the minutes. Recommendation that the minutes of March 26, 2025 meeting be adopted as circulated. May I get a move? Jonathan moved, and may I get a seconder? Fahim, thank you. Is there any correspondence for tonight, Yusuf?
Hi, Stephanie. There is no additional correspondence for this evening, Ms. Chair.
Okay, wonderful. So I'll get into the very long-winded speech here. Number 6, the order of business. 6.1, the introduction is the purpose of meeting. This meeting is a statutory public hearing pursuant to the Planning Act to consider applications requesting consents and/or variances from the provisions of the municipality zoning bylaws. As per the Planning Act, the hearing of every application shall be held in public, and the committee shall hear the applicant and every other person who desires to be heard in favor or against the application. Written notice of tonight's hearing was provided to the applicant, prescribed agencies, and adjacent property owners in accordance with the requirements of the Planning Act and applicable regulations. Signage was also provided on the subject properties. 6.2, explanation of meeting procedure. The applicant's presentation. The applicant or representative will be invited by the committee to provide details of the proposed application and its merits. Applicant correspondence. The chair will invite the secretary treasurer to present any correspondence received for the application being considered. Member participation. The members of the committee will be invited to address the applicant and ask questions relevant to the application. Public participation. The public will be invited to address the committee to provide comments in support or opposition to the application. And further action. Following the question period, the committee may then make a decision regarding the application to defer consideration of the application, reserve its decision, or adjourn the meeting. Should the committee make a decision approving or refusing the application, the secretary treasurer shall issue written notice of decision subject to the requirement of the Planning Act. Upon issuance of the decision, a 20-day appeal period is initiated during which the applicant, the minister, or a specified person of public body that has no interest in the matter may appeal the decision of the Committee of Adjustments to the Ontario Land Tribunal. So with that done, we are moving on into our business of the evening, starting with 7.1, minor variance application COA-2025-6. Minor variance application D13-24-10. The owner is Rizwan Khan and Sophia Khan. The agent is Rizwan Khan, and the location is 44 Montrose Boulevard. The applicant is seeking relief from zoning bylaw 2010-050 as amended, respecting setback requirements for the steps and the required number of parking spaces in the residential R1-43 zone. So now I am going to ask Mr. Khan to speak on behalf of this application.
Hi, Mr. Chair and my respected committee members. My name is Rizwan Khan, and I am the owner of the property as well. I am the applicant. I'm speaking on my behalf to this public hearing of this meeting today. So I have applied for seeking a relief from the zoning bylaw 2010-050 under section it's part 4.9 and table 4.2. This is for the zoning bylaw 210-050. Bylaw requirement is interior, side yard encroachment of steps from the side lotted line. So the requirement was 0.6 meters, and I am requesting relief up to as 0.3 meters. That's number one. And number 2, it's the other under other section is part 5.18, table 5.3. I am seeking a relief under the residential parking requirement for a semi-detached dwelling. Required is 2, but I am requesting 1. So I'm actually I have put in an application for an ADU as from the town's building division, and that's why I have requested through the planning division required for the minor variance applications for these 2 things that I just asked for.
Lovely. Now I'm going to open it up to see if has been any correspondence or if any members of the public would like to speak about this application.
Hi, Mr. Chair. Hi, Mr. Chair. We have 2 members of the public who are wanting to speak on this application.
Okay, let's hear what they have to say. Hi there, Megan. Go ahead when you feel like it.
Hi, everyone. I was just joining the speaking today because I wasn't sure if this amendment was going to be impacting street parking on Montrose Boulevard. By the sound of it, it does not. Do I have that correct?
I'm going to get you to answer any questions that Megan may have in regards to this application.
Okay, Megan, so I have requested from the town, for that, for the, under this minor variance request for the residential parking. So it won't, the additional parking will not be on the street. It will be on the property itself. So that's what I have requested from the town. So no car will be parked on the street. So all the cars for the residents will be parked on the driveway. Or town have also requested for a temporary parking space so that we will be having as well on the property. So nothing will be on the street for sure. I can guarantee that.
And it would be, sorry, am I allowed to speak right away or do I have to wait for
Yes,
somebody
of
to
course.
invite me?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
yes.
Okay, fantastic. So to my understanding, then there would just be like an additional temporary parking space on your what would be lawn? Or where would the additional temporary space?
Okay, so right now, there is there is a space on the driveway to park 2 cars in the parallel position, right? But as I see the application, so if there is anything that need to be done by the town, or that's the actually right of way for the town, so that if a car is parked there, so the park will be moved towards a temporary parking spot on the property. So that will be on the property on maybe on the side. So we might extend a driveway a bit maybe. So I have to discuss that with the building division, but that there will be parking on site. Nothing will be on the road.
Okay, understood. Thanks, everyone. That was my main concern, was just that there wouldn't be additional parking on the road. So I don't have any further comments on this application at this time.
Thank you, Megan.
Lovely. Thank you for participating. Jonathan, we're just gonna wait for the other member of the public to speak, and then we'll get right to the committee questions. Is there somebody else that wants to speak in regards to this?
It looks like Frank has left the meeting.
Okay, so we did have somebody, but they have, we'll give them a minute or 2 before we move on. But Jonathan, you had a question?
Yeah, my question would be, what was just asked as well is, if there's a temporary spot, where would that be? You wouldn't be able to widen your driveway without the permit. Where would this extra spot be? Just extra clarification from the town. if possible.
Extra spot will be, because this is a semi-detached property, right? So because when I applied for the permit through the building division, and even in my actual application in regards to the minor variance, I have this discussion open with the town. If there is a need for that, I'm open to that, but they haven't mentioned like anything specific to that. But because that temporary spot, if there is a need for a town or a service division, something, if they want to do something on the right of way, like because that's the space between the curb and the city's area, right? So the car will be removed from there at that time.
All right. And now, have you had a chance to look over the town's recommendations of conditions if this application were to
Yes,
be
yes,
approved? And you accept
yes, I
all,
did.
and you accept all of those?
Yes, I am okay with those, all of them. Yes.
Okay, so as the chair, I can't put a motion forward, so I'll have to ask on any of my fellow committee members to put forward a motion. Fahim?
I'd like to put the motion forward to approve this application D13-25-10, a list of recommendation condition in attached on Appendix 1.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to approve this. I'll put it to a vote. All in favor? Fahim, Jonathan is not. Oh, Jonathan is. And then Gavin is in favor? Yes, I see his hand up. So it is approved. So 7.1 is approved, and now we move on to 7.2. Minor variance application COA-2025-7, consent application D13-24-11. Different owners. I apologize if I'm pronouncing this incorrectly. Ashfaq, Ahmed, and Fozia Nazar. The agent is again Mr. Rizwan Khan, and this location is the next door neighbor's property at 46 Montrose Boulevard. The applicant is seeking relief from zoning bylaw 2010-05 as amended, respecting setback requirements for steps and the required number of parking spaces in residential 1 R1-43 zone. I'm going to throw it to you, Mr. Khan, and to explain what this is.
Hi, Mrs. Chair and my respected members. So this is like a same the minor variance application as for the 44 Montrose. This is 46. And so we are seeking relief under the zoning bylaw 2010-050 as one of the requirement is for the setbacks. The requirement is 0.6 meters, and we are requesting a setback requirement for up to 0.3 meters. And second one is for the residential parking requirement for a semi-detached dwelling. Requirement is 2, and we are again requesting relief under this minor variance application for 1.
Okay, so pretty much the exact same thing as the last one. Do we have any correspondence on this, Yusuf, or anybody of the members of public that would like to speak on behalf of this?
We do have the additional public member of Megan, who is still in attendance. But yep, that would be the only correspondence that we have for this application.
Okay, now did Megan want to speak on this application as well too?
Hi, everyone. Nothing further from me. Thank you.
Okay, I'll open it up to the committee to have any questions that they may have. And again, this one comes with a list of conditions, and Mr. Khan, you're okay with that as well?
Yes, I am okay with that. I have no issues.
All right, well then I will look to one of my fellow committee members to put forward a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we pass this minor variance with the attachments laid out by the town.
Sorry, I muted myself there. So there's a motion to pass minor variance COA 2025-7. All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, it is passed. So with that said, thank you very much, Mr. Khan, and congratulations. Your applications have been approved.
Thank you,
Now
Mr. Chair.
no problem. Have yourself a lovely night.
You guys,
Is
thank you so
is
much.
there any other business to discuss tonight?
Nope.
Okay, seeing none, may I get a motion to adjourn the meeting? Jonathan, and all in favor? Okay, so the meeting is adjourned at 6:46 p.m. Have a great night.
Thank you.